Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm INTAN Muhammad. Today I would like to discuss about Sikhism. What is Sikhism? Sikhism, also known as a Sikhi or in Punjabi, we call it Sikh. That means that's a discipline, seekers of a learner. In the religion originated in the Punjab region of the Indian subcontinent. The second is a monotheistic religion of Northwest India. Sikhism also seeks to make a religion a uniting rather than a dividing force. Based on Sikhism, that all people, that means male, female, Brahmin, and Sudra, or Hindu or Muslim, are united as a brother and sister in devotion to the one God. Based on Guru Nanak, there said that there is no Muslim, there is no Hindu. All are equal human beings because they are the children of the same father. There is a God of a Sikhism. Okay, what is other South Asian religion? Based on connect Sikhism to other religion. The goal of Sikhism is to have a good karma to the good conduct. The second is to break the cycle of the reincarnation moksha to become the one of Satnam. There also have after death, Sikh are recremated to their ash, are to spread over a river or in the sea. And the fifth is how to break the cycle of reincarnation. And also have a charity. And the last one is meditation, which is a communal. Based on the other religion is Islam, was brought to India around 700 at Domino. The second is Hinduism, experienced a resurgence at the same time. And the third is Buddhism, saw a decline. And the fourth is Buddhism, did survive in China and Japan. And the last one is Sikhism was eventually created in the Punjab region of northern India. For the teaching of Sikhism has the 5S. In the 5S has mentioned in the control in the 5 V's. The first is creed. In the Sikhism we call it law. The second is anger. In Sikhism we call it karo. For the third we call it pride, and the meaning of Sikhism we call it hankar. And the fourth is last. In Sikhism we call it kam. And for the last one is materialism. In Sikh we call it moh. And also Sikh teach how to live by the 5 virtues. The first one is compensation. In Sikh we call it dine. And the second is harness and justice. We call it, the meaning is daya. And the third is contentment. We call in Sikh that santo. And the fourth is humility. In the Sikh we call it nimarta. And the last one is pyar, that feel of the Satnam. In Sikh we call it persanta. Who are Sikh? Sikh is discipline or student. What are some commonly held misconceptions about Sikh? Okay, first, what can recognize of Sikh is they always have the cash for uncut hair, or keshki, a small turban that they always wears, like for the first, second, and third pictures.
Alright. Next, Sikh. For the Sikh is Sikh temples. We can see common practice. Common practice have five. When we need to go to the temples. Like first, you need to remove shoes. Like we go to mosque as a Muslim, you need to remove your shoes. Can cleaning the floor. And second, cover head. You need like put fabric or clothes at your head. So mm, and that is all are welcome. Like all religions can come and can um in to the temples and make feel Exmafera temple. The fourth is prayers lead by Grand Team. What is Grand Team? Okay, Grand Team is a person, female or man of the Sikh religion who is a ceremonial reader of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib, which is the holy book in Sikhism, often read to worshippers at Sikh temples called Gurdwara. The name Granthi comes from the sacred Granthika and also a free kitchen always open. If you attend any service at Sikh Gurdwaras or temple, afterward you will be invited to share meal served and prepared by the worship there. Like no matter if it's your first time uh, at a service or if you know nothing about Sikhism. So everybody is welcome. Um, that equality is the is a preparation and servings of nation. Okay, the second, the most sight to see is a golden temple in Amrit, India, pilgrimage. Pilgrimage is a journey often into island or foreign place where a person goes in search of new or expand meaning about their self, others, nature, or higher good through experience. Alright, next, sacred art, the Golden Temple. The Golden Temple is located in Amritsar in Punjab, India, which means pool of the nectar of immortality, the holiest city in Sikhism. Uh, the Golden Temples, it is a symbol of spiritual and historical tradition of the Sikhs, and it is known as a palace of pilgrimage and a sacred piece of art. Pilgrimage like journey for the person to explain a meaning about their self, others, and nature or higher greed. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Intan Nur Atikah binti Sabarudin. Today, I would like to present um, the title of Shinto and Sikhism. Alright, Shinto. Shinto meaning way of the god is the older religions in Japan. The faith has neither a founder or prophet, and there is no major text which outline its principal belief. The people of ancient Japan had long held and mystic belief, worships divine ancestor, and communicated with the spirit world via shaman. Shinto gods are called kami. They are sacred spirits which take the form of things and considered important to relief such as wind, rain, mountain, streams, rivers, and fertility. The example, the sign goddess Amaterasu. Amaterasu in full Amaterasu Omikami, Japanese Greek divinity illuminating heaven. The celestial sun goddess from whom the Japanese imperial family claimed descent, and an important Shinto deity. And the we got Susanoo. Susanoo in full Susanoo no Mikoto, also spelled Susanoo, Japanese impetuous male. In Japanese mythology, the storm god, younger brother of the sun goddess Amaterasu, and he was born as his father Izanagi washed his nose. Next, for my beginner, Shinto became a distant religion in response to the arrival of Buddhism in Japan. But not until the late 12th century was the word Shinto used to define in distinct body of religion teaching. Since then, Shinto and Buddhism have coexisted in Japan, sometimes closer, sometimes further apart. In state Shinto, the 19th century was a turning point. In 1068, Shinto was divided into state Shinto, obligatory for all Japanese, and Shinto, which include an enormous number of popular, had a few of which were preserved by the then Japanese government. The popular movement after Japan defeat in World War State Shinto was disestablished and replaced by Chicha Shinto or Shinto, which now represent the majority of Shinto shrine. And of Shinto organization revitalized their movement and hundreds of new religions. So, uh, alright. Next, the main belief in Shinto. First, purity, avoid physical cleanliness and the avoidance of disruption and spiritual purity. Second, physical well-being. Third, harmony. We exist in all things and must be maintained against imbalance, procreation, and fertility, family and ancestral solidarity, subordination of the individual to the group, reverence of the nature, and all things have the potential for both good and bad. The soul of the dead can influence the living before it, join with the collective coming of its ancestors.
Next, I will talking about the ecological response and religious traditions. Firstly, nature as divine. Shinto tradition acknowledge a deep depth to the blessings of nature and the spiritual power which bring about life, fertility, and prosperity. This life-giving power was called musibi, which is divine power of growth and perceived in all the workings of nature. Since the Japanese people felt the divine within nature, they came to hold the ideal of a life that was in harmony with and united with nature. Mountain peaks, deep valleys, and the wide ocean were viewed as dwellings for the divine, and other natural objects such as evergreen trees and huge rocks were considered to be symbols of divine spirits. This is the example of some prominent rocks are worshipped as kami. Next is Shinto and agriculture. The Japanese way of life depends heavily on rice cultivation, the form of agriculture best suited to the Japanese climate. Rice is treated as a sacred and indispensable food. Matsuri festivals are traditionally held seasonally in each region to invoke the success of the rice harvest. Over thousands of years, the rituals and festivals associated with rice agriculture gave form to the religion of Shinto. Shinto is therefore both the indigenous folk religion of Japan and the history of Japanese people's way of life. The Japanese people heading out to plant rice at Korakuen Otao Matsuri at Okayama Karokuen in Okayama City. This festival is held each year on the second Sunday in June. And this is the picture of women and girls that taking part in the Okayama's Korakuen Otao Matsuri. Shinto forestry. It is the forests, not the buildings, that mark the true shrines of Shintoism. The deities are invited to these forests where they and their environment are protected by the local community, which in turn is protected by the deities. So although the Chinju no Mori, or sacred groves around Shinto shrines, are revered as the dwelling place of the kami spirits, it is the kami which are worshipped, not the trees. Religious forestry standard. First, it is religiously compatible based on the faith values, beliefs, heritage, and traditions. Next, it is environmentally appropriate. It ensures that the harvest of timber and non-timber products, as well as care of sacred areas, maintains the forest biodiversity, productivity, and ecological process. Also, that those who manage the forest pay attention to the environmental concerns, including recycling and non-use of pollutants. Next is socially beneficial. It helps both local people and society at large to enjoy long-term benefits and also provides strong incentives to local people to sustain the forest resource and adhere to long-term management plans. It is also economically viable, means that forest operations are structured and managed so as to be sufficiently profitable without generating financial profit at the expense of the forest resource and the ecosystem or affected communities. The tension between the need to generate adequate financial returns and the principles of responsible forest operations can be reduced through efforts to market forest products for the best value. In conclusion, as we face global environmental problems, Shinto principles of not only appreciating nature but recognizing that nature is the source of life gain critical importance. Self-awareness, purification of thoughts and intentions, ethics rooted in respect to nature revives old wisdom which seems to be so relevant today. For additional information, we can watch the films of Hayao Miyazaki, which include Shinto, nature, and the environment. Thank you for listening.